My husband only wants to have sex with me for having kids. My husband and I have been married for 5 months. Prior to that, we were together for 5 years. He comes from a very financially well-off family, and as a result, we have been fortunate enough not to have to worry about any aspect of our finance. He is also very religious, and I also suspect that he is asexual. I suspect that he is asexual because in the 4 years that we were together before we got married, he refused to have sex with me, which is really strange because all of my other ex-boyfriends when I was a teen and young adult, like 18, would literally beg me to have sex. I'm not ugly by any means, so it sort of made me insecure when he refused to have sex and barely even touched me. The excuse he used for not having sex was that he didn't want to spoil his purity. So, when we finally got married in December, I was expecting our relationship to become fully complete and for it to actually have a sex life. But nope, it's not much different. In the 5 months we've been married, we've had sex 3 times. Once on our wedding night, and then the other couple of times I had to initiate, which made me feel worthless. Just tonight, I tried to initiate again and he said, "I'm not ready to have kids, so you need to chill out." This worked my mind. And I asked him if he only viewed sex as the act of reproduction. And he made me feel like an idiot by saying, "You obviously don't know too much about biology, sweetheart." I'm in tears right now. I feel nauseous. My friends are telling me that they can't even imagine their boyfriend acting this way, especially when it comes to sex. What are some options that I can use to deal with this situation? Comment, banana. Annulment. If he isn't interested in sex with you, there isn't much you can do about it. Are you willing to settle for sexless marriage? If so, then stay right where you are. Otherwise, you need to be taking some steps. First, have a long talk about sex for pleasure, sex for procreation, and birth control. And by the way, I'm baffled you haven't talked about any of this prior to marriage. But here you are, so time to talk about it. If these talks aren't very enlightening and includes progress to working through this issue, then the next step is sex counseling and couples counseling, two different things. Anyway, good luck. Religious extremists are difficult to parse. And playful side said, "You obviously don't know too much about biology, sweetheart." Answer would have been, "You obviously don't know much about the emotional and neurobiological side effects of bonding with regards to sex, huh?" He sounds cold as ice, and he treats you in hearty ways. Why did you even marry that ass? Money or... No, he doesn't get to treat you this way. He sounds as if he's bought himself a pretty young healthy body to procreate with, that this body comes with feeling he neither saw or cared. I would try for an annulment. Comment by Damien Key. A Catholic friend of mine went through this with her husband. After 3 to 4 years, they finally went to marriage counseling with their parish priest. After months of trying to work through this, the priest spoke with my friend privately and told her she could and should get an annulment. Please, please, please save yourself from the years of heritage my friend endured. Get out now. He will not change and he's making you feel as if you're the problems. It's okay if that's how he views sex, but he should have been upfront about it prior to marriage. It's not okay for him to make it seem like you're the problems. Comment by Red and S. Glad it worked out for you, but sexual incompatibility is a relationship killer for a lot of relationships. There has been a clear lack of communication here, but in all honesty, this person's idea would have been able to solve all of that. If you love driving but aren't allowed to test drive your car before buying it, that's just a recipe for disaster. Original poster has bought the car. Beautiful and expensive, but it doesn't run well. So they need to trade into a model that may not be as luxurious but purr like a kitten. Either that or they start the discussion of multiple cars. Second stories. My cousin acts flirty around my fiancé. My dad and her dad are identical twins brother, and we're the same age. So my cousin and I grew up very close. We kind of consider ourselves to be half-sister in a way, since genetically we are. My fiancé and I hang out with her several times a month and have gone on short trips together, just the three of us. So I'm so glad we all get along really well and are super close. But I wonder if sometimes she crosses boundaries. I'm trying to keep this short, so here are some quick examples of things she said or done to indicate she might have feeling for my fiancé. The thought actually didn't cross my mind until recently though, telling me I need to find myself my fiancé's names. I wish he had a brother. Keep in mind she has a boyfriend of 2 years. Saying, I wish my boyfriend was more like my fiancé because of XYZ. So you're so lucky, etc. Trying on several outfits for a night out and asking only him, how do I look? Do you like this? Is this too sexy? Being touchy, hugging him when drunk. One time she put her head in his lap, when drunk as if using his leg as a pillow. This was the turning point for me. Jokingly saying our fiancé. I'm not sure how to address it with her. If I don't mention it, I'll keep feeling somewhat disrespected her and uncomfortable with her being a little attention-seeking or flirtatious around my fiancé. If I do mention it, I'm possibly setting myself up for being gaslit and told I'm crazy or jealous or reading too much into things. But honestly, maybe I am reading too much into things. Maybe she just see him as a good guy and friend. For what it's worth, my fiancé hasn't mentioned anything about it, so I assume nothing has bothered him. Looking for others' thought on whether her behavior sounds strange, and if so, how to bring it up without being accusatory or causing drama. Thank you. Reddit user comment, Adventurous Pale 10. You should cut hanging out with her so much. There's too much closeness and she's falling for him. There's too much familiarity. Other Reddit user rap. Exactly. I find her behavior disgusting. How do I look sexy in this? What the fuck? It's okay to let go of toxic people, even if it's family. Toxic people should be avoided, be it anyone, friends or family. Also, original poster, I think you should first ask your boyfriend how he feels while your cousin does it. It could be a thing that maybe your boyfriend is too friendly with your cousin and she's mistakenly takes it in another way. Mostly, before clearing all your suspicion, you should not go out with your cousin. Take a break first and have some time with your boyfriend. Comment by no mechanic. That is what I want to know. What did he do when she put her head in his lap? If he didn't immediately get up or move her, he's also the problems. And Mary's 3 rap comment. Why are people so hung up on him? He's in a tough spot if she isn't say anything to her cousin, because if he overreacts to something he is uncomfortable with, it's alienate a close relative of his fiancée. It's quite clear who should take her sister aside, or at least make it clear that she's fine with her fiancé shutting down her sister's heart and potentially being rude. Comment by Admirable Sale. No, you're not reading too much into things. Her behavior is unacceptable to you, and you need to voice that to her. Set your boundaries and don't let them be crossed. If she's shut you down and keep it up, stay away from her, and let your boyfriend know how you feel. Ask him to keep contact with her to a minimum, and if he crosses that boundary, stick to your guns and dump him. Remember, people can only treat you the way you let them treat you.